Hey everybody, it's the Waiting for Next Year video series. I'm Craig Lyndall, and I'm going to talk about the Browns today. Most specifically, I'm going to talk about quarterback DeShone Kizer. I'm fully on board with the Browns seeing what he can do the rest of the season, but there's almost nothing that he can do that would keep me from using one of the top, if not the top overall pick in the upcoming draft on a quarterback. I I just I think we've seen enough already. Not to say that DeShone Kizer can't be a starting quarterback in the NFL, but we've seen enough to know that he's not going to show us anything this year that would keep us from drafting a guy that we think could be a top 10 starter in the NFL. So I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen or a quarterback to be named later. I mean, nobody had Carson Wentz on their board this time, whenever, 2 years ago before he was drafted. But the idea that the Browns should go into another offseason thinking that they can slum it with this crop of quarterbacks, including Kevin Hogan, Cody Kessler, and DeShone Kizer, and Brock Osweiler, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And so there's really I don't know. I don't think there's anything that he can do in the remaining part of the season that would prove to me that the Browns shouldn't use that other pick. Because go ahead, give me the problem of having two quarterbacks. Give me that problem. I'm here for it. There's so many people who worry about that, the cliches like if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. And all the Browns have ever proven to us is if you have no quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. So it's about options, and the Browns need to create more options. They're not going to find one in free agency. They're not going to luck into one. The best that they could do is find a stopgap that they could keep for 2, 3, 4 years in free agency, and that doesn't really do much for you. That's the Josh McCown plan, and sometimes that ends up in a helicopter in the New York Jets end zone when he's going for a touchdown. So I'm all in for drafting a quarterback this year. I might be in for drafting two quarterbacks because as we've seen with Myles Garrett, and even as impressive as he's been in the two games and as much of an impact as he's made in the two games that he's played for the Browns, he's never going to impact a game the way Deshaun Watson will. He'll never impact a game the way Jared Goff will. Certainly, he'll never impact a game the way Carson Wentz will. And the Browns haven't necessarily or shouldn't necessarily have drafted all of those guys. But the key is that that's your draft strategy. And so I'm here to watch DeShone Kizer play the rest of the season. But there's pretty much nothing he can do that'll keep me from drafting a quarterback.